Hi.
Hi.
Cheers for Fika. So, who are you? Who's that guy?
I'm Ben.
And how old are you?
I'm 13.
And you guys already know Audrey. Audrey,
Yeah.
have you told everyone how old you are?
No, but I'm 10, and yeah.
Yeah. So, the reason we're talking about their ages, and the reason I grabbed him, so you can understand what I'm dealing with, which I'm not dealing with a lot right now. Bye.
Hi.
So I talk about this concept a lot, which is growing my business with the age of the kids. So if you want to talk about my history, it all mirrors the age of my kids. And I have to remind myself this a lot when I want to be like really big, because I do, like I'm kind of competitive. But then I remember, I have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. So what's my business look like to accommodate that in terms of my business is like is a teenager. And there's a lot, we're really busy with the kids, but also with the business because we've been able, because the kids are in school full time, not now, but they were in school full time. And then now they can do e-learning and they can take care of themselves a little bit more. So then that allows us, because it's a partnership, it's not just me, which I'm lucky for. But if it was just me, it would allow me to work a little more. If I had toddlers, I couldn't work a lot. So what that looks like is, and so it's kind of a way for me to tell you, like, if you have toddlers, it's okay. I'm not expecting your business to look like mine right now. Just the same way as if I'm looking at my peers that have kids in college, my business might look like theirs when my kids go to college. I don't need it to look the same as theirs right now. And so, and nor should I, because so the reason we started the business is actually for the kids. That's the whole point of the business was to be able to be with them more. And a lot of times I have to remember that because I am competitive and I want just to build, really. It's not really about like money or blah, blah, blah. It's about building something. And just, I get really excited about getting a lot of clients and just, I have a fire under me to do different projects. And so a lot of times I had to like tame that because I remember I have a 10-year-old and I kind of like her.
Ooh, she likes me.
Ooh, aren't you lucky? And I like to be with her. And then also I like to, volunteer at her school or whatever, and I like to be present for her. So if and it's hard, I guess I'm admitting that I lately have really been in my own head a lot, especially with what's going on. So I'm literally running like client lists through my head constantly, like what I have to do for each client, and I am like not spending as much like real time with my kids as I would like to. And I don't mean like throwing them a sandwich and carting them around. Like I mean like real time, like listening to them, sitting there, looking at them, seeing them, who they are, seeing what's going on. That kind of real time. But in terms of how we started the business, so I'd have to look at, it'd be interesting to have Mike here for this conversation. We don't
need him.
Yeah. Well, we'll have him talk about more about like the history of how we started this. But because I remember, so I talked about how we got SDM PDX as the first client as a volunteer. And I mean me. And I only had one kid. He was a baby. And so that was kind of like, one client, one baby. Work during nap time. That works, actually. Because 2 hours a day you can work on nap time. Perfect. Don't do laundry. I mean, you should see my house, really. That's why you only see one part of it. We don't do housework. You got to let some things go. That's the other thing. Like, you can't do everything. So that worked, and then I had her, and then I guess our business kind of got big. It was my business at the time, and I got some more contract work, and I had her, and we had a nanny, but didn't have the nanny full time.
Nice.
So Mike was employed at that digital marketing firm, and it was nice. What was nice? The nanny was nice.
Yeah, she was so nice.
You remember her? Oh, good. But so I had Ben in preschool, and we had the nanny, and I don't know. I don't remember how well that even worked, but I was working, and I'm a psycho worker. I can get really, really, really into what I'm doing, and I have a hard time stopping. And like when the nanny would have to go at 3 o'clock, I kind of felt that was hard for me because I definitely like working. But it just worked. It was what we had to do. I remember, and then the kids went to preschool, more full time, so we didn't have the nanny. But I remember they didn't have preschool on Monday for some reason.
Yeah, because there was this 2-day 2s, 2-day 2s, 3-day 3s, 4-day 4s.
Yeah, but so they didn't have school on Monday. I thought that was a dumb day not to have school. But I took Mondays off. Not what I would like to take Friday off, but whatever. So it doesn't really matter. That's another episode we could do. Time doesn't even matter. You could work different times. So I took Mondays off, whatever. So then I remember when so I got so many clients that I was like, I can't do this. And I had a little fit, and because I didn't want to work. I mean, I like working, but I like my kids too. So I didn't want to stop being with the kids, because I would have kind of had to go full time to do all the clients. So I said I was going to fire half my clients, and then Mike said, no, I'll just quit my job and help you with the clients. That's kind of like, okay, having a partner like that is kind of like how you can be successful. That's kind of what I'm talking about. And it could be men to women, women to men. It doesn't matter which is which. But having someone who really supports you like that. And because he did that, now there's so many other, not only does that free me up, because he did that and he supported me in a way with the kids, but also with the business too. So I would try and give him some PR work, which is funny because he's not a PR guy. But what he did was he brought the digital side to our company. So whatever like traditional PR was doing, he would bring in like the search and social strategy. And so then we added that onto our client services. And then he helps a lot with like kind of structuring really, really big campaigns and big numbers that I'm not interested in dealing with. He can set all that up and set up budgets. And then he does our new business, because I don't want to talk to you if you're not my client. He does that. And then he gets clients for us, and then I work on them. That's it. But so without him, we wouldn't have this. But so we always just when we get stressed, we just remind ourselves, because the whole thing was so that we could be with the kids more. So if we feel like we need to get a bunch of clients, we just take a breath and we say, what can we handle? How do we want to live? And what kind of parents do we want to be? And so when he quit his job, Ben was going into kindergarten. So then that's a milestone right there. So you've got one in that's more full time, 9 to 5 or 9 to 3. It's a long time. You can get a lot done in 9 to 3, right? 5 days a week.
8:45 to 3.
But now she goes to a different school that's actually
earlier. It's like
she has a whole extra hour at her school, but at that time, so we dropped Ben off at kindergarten, and do you remember what you said? So she was 2 years younger, so she would have been 3. And do you remember the line that you said when we dropped him off?
No.
It's the cutest thing. She goes, so we dropped him off, and then we start to walk home, and then maybe we went about our day, and then Audrey started to cry and said, why did we leave him there? So, like, we left him at school. Why? Pretty cute. So anyway, so it's stair-stepping with the kids, with your freedom. So when the second one goes, and that's another milestone, because then you have more time. So yeah. So then you take more clients, or you do more proactive things to get more money. And then when they get bigger, like, crazy lady who wants to do 3 sports in one season, you, in a way, you think, well, they're going to be busy with sports, so that's great. So then there's more work time. But then you do a lot of the driving around with that. But then you still find a lot of freedom with like carpooling or whatnot. And so when they, like, she was in OBOB, and they would practice OBOB, you know, after school for an hour. So that gives you an extra hour. And then Ben is in middle school, and he rides the bus, and he doesn't even get home until like 4:15 when he goes. And so, because now we're not going to school. And so you can see how your day starts to expand and stretch. And then you can make your business or your consultancy follow that. So you're slowly modeling, you're growing with the age of your kids. And so, yeah, I want to have the biggest, not the best, well, whatever. I want to have the biggest PR firm in Portland. But not now. I'll do that maybe when they go to college. And I say maybe because I don't want to be tied to anything. Maybe I'd rather travel. So sorry, this was a long one, I guess.
Yeah, so we didn't show you our beautiful setup in the beginning, but we're setting up. So what we have here, I don't know if you can see. Okay.
It's really pretty.
It's we have our candies because we don't really care about cake anymore.
Well, we ate it all.
Yeah.
And that's our owl. Our owlie is our mascot. And our pretty coaster.
Yeah.
And our Jolly Ranchers. Because
we got our coffee, tea.
Audrey is the style director. And she's available if you want to have any styling consultancy conversations. Okay, bye.